All right, you guys want to know the best niche summer fragrances of 2023? Stay tuned because I got you covered. Hey, what's going on? Hunter here and welcome back to my channel where I upload weekly fragrance content. So of course you already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and also be sure to check me out over on my Instagram page. But today I am bringing to you the best of the best when it comes to niche perfumery for the summertime of 2023. And I've been getting so many niche summer fragrances as of lately that are absolute bangers, so I'm so excited to bring this list for you. I was going to include a mixture of designers and niche, but like I said, I have so many niche fragrances that I'm going to do a separate top 10 designer fragrances of 2023 for summertime, so stay tuned for that as well if you are looking for obviously more affordable fragrances. Now this list though is going to be the best of the best regardless of price. If you don't mind spending, hundreds of dollars on the best fragrances out there, this list is gonna be for you. And of course, when I think of summertime fragrances, the first thing that comes to mind is aquatics, citrusy, fresh, bright fragrances, and that's exactly what's gonna be included in this list. So let's get right into number 10. Number 10 is actually a fragrance that I recently took to my trip to Florida, so you know it's good, and it is Amber Oud's Whetstone. So this is one of the most salty, aquatic, mineral fragrances I've ever had my nose on. It literally smells like rocks that have just been soaking in that ocean salt water. That's the exact vibe Whetstone gives off. Honestly, unlike anything I've ever smelled before, and absolutely perfect for a nice, hot summer day. You cannot go wrong with it. It also adds a slight oud in the base that just brings a little bit more earthiness to it and makes it a little bit more complex, but I love Whetstone and an absolute must for the summer. Number 9 is a fragrance that has been around for a few years now, but I recently got a bottle and I'm so happy I did, and it's Nishane's hacivat. For me, this is an absolute must for the summertime as well, and it's coming in at number 9. It is a little bit ranked lower because obviously it's been around for a few years. Everyone knows about it, but for me personally, I absolutely love this fragrance. It of course is very similar to Creed Aventus, at least in the opening, but as it dries down, it turns into a completely different fragrance with this amped up oak moss note that makes it extremely earthy. And just altogether, one of the best pineapple fragrances money can buy in my opinion. And when it comes to performance, this stuff is outstanding. Being in extrait de parfum, you are gonna get better performance than Creed Aventus, which I do have right there as well. So if you love Aventus, you love that DNA, and you want better performance, absolutely check out Nishane hacivat, and that's why it's coming in at number 9. Number 8 is a brand new fragrance in my collection, and I'm so glad I got it before making this top 10 list because this deserves a spot without a doubt. And it's coming from Sphinx Fragrances, and this happens to be Coconut Daiquiri. Who loves coconut? Because if you do, you absolutely have to get your nose on this one. It smells so tropical, like literally being on a tropical island, guys. Very, very refreshing. You of course have that coconut, which is a little bit creamy, very tropical, but doesn't come across smelling like suntan lotion, which is a great thing, and very hard to make a coconut-based fragrance not smell like that. So Sphinx did a great job. It also has its booziness to it as well. Just a perfect vacation fragrance, and the kind of fragrance you want to put on when you're wearing a shirt like this, and you will stand out without a doubt. Number 7 is coming from a fairly new niche house that a lot of people still have not discovered because it is pretty exclusive. However, this one is one of my favorites from the entire house and perfect for summer. It's coming from the house of Mind Games, and it is Blockade. Now, just look how beautiful this bottle is as well. I love the chest pieces that they went with. The whole aesthetic is just beautiful. Now, Blockade, however, is also kind of in that Aventus scent profile, but it does mix things up quite a bit. Instead of pineapple, you are gonna get this very tropical, fruity mango right off of the bat. Extremely, extremely pleasant. When it comes to the quality of these Mind Games fragrances, they are out of this world. Some of the most high quality fragrances I've ever got my nose on, and that's why they are pretty expensive and never go on discount. And I think they're exclusive at Neiman Marcus and of course So Avant-Garde. But geez, guys, if you do have a Neiman around you, absolutely go check out the house of Mind Games, especially Blockade. And if you're looking for one for the summertime and you don't care about spending, however much money to smell the best, definitely get your nose on Blockade, and you might just want to purchase a bottle. Number 6 is going to be for my fig lovers out there because this is by far the best fig fragrance, especially for the summer. And it's coming from Acqua Di Parma, and you guys might know what it is. Fico di Amalfi, the iconic Fico di Amalfi in this blue bottle, guys. Who loves fig? Because if you do, so do I, and this is one of the absolute best bangs for your bucks when it comes to fig. You of course get this very citrus, bright, uplifting opening that dries down to this very green, almost earthy fig note. Just kind of smells like being somewhere on the Mediterranean, and that's what they're going for, hence the blue Mediterranean line in these blue bottles. But yeah, fig is the main focus with this fragrance, along with some bright citrus notes. Just all in all, one of the best summer fragrances without a doubt. And honestly, it probably would be higher up on the list if the performance was a little bit better. So we're finally in the top 5 niche 2023 summer fragrances. Coming in at number 5 is from the house of Roja Parfums, and it is Isola Blue, one of the newest releases. Even though the scent profile is not new, it is Oligarch Parfum rebranded into Isola Blue. However, still a great summertime banger. It kind of has that Terre Hermes DNA, but done in a much more sophisticated, higher level way that smells absolutely like $1 million. This though, however, smells like somebody on $1 million yacht. It's so luxurious smelling, so sophisticated, and of course, very, very complex, but that's kind of what you expect when it comes to Roja Parfums. There's so much going on in this fragrance. It's a little bit aromatic, very green, very herbal, very citrusy, of course, from like a bergamot lemon, and I think a burst of this lime note that I'm detecting. And I even think there's coconut listed in here as well, which might be giving it that little bit of a tropical vibe. If you have money to spend and you want the best, absolutely check out Isola Blue. My only gripe with this is I wish it came in the 100 ml because this stuff is so easy to spray. Number 4 is also a brand new fragrance in my collection, and I'm so glad I got it at this time because I've been wearing a lot, especially when it's hot outside. And it's coming from Thameen London, and this is the brand new Bohemian Infusion. It has one of the best zesty, kind of tart grapefruit opening that I've smelled in quite some time. It's also very, very green. I think there's petitgrain in here. There's a note of myrtle, which is very unique. And just all in all, this smells like summertime in a bottle. I don't even know how to explain it. It just gives me that summer, sunny, hot day vibe. This is actually my first from the house of Thameen London. The other one I do really want to get from them is, I believe, Carved Oud, which is very similar to Oud Wood, one of my favorite Tom Fords. But yeah, so far I am so impressed with this house when it comes to their fragrances from my first impression of Bohemian Lime. A must-have if you have money to spend and you like a niche fragrance for the summertime. Absolutely check this out. Now we're in our top 3, and at number 3, guys, this is one of the most beast mode summertime fragrances I've ever smelled in my entire life and in my collection. This stuff is a powerhouse. It's coming from Habibi, New York, and this happens to be Ombre of the Sea, which is part of their Reserve collection. And wow, this fragrance right here is absolutely outstanding. In the top of Ombre of the Sea, you are going to get a very aquatic sea kind of vibe. Very, very salty as well. But in my opinion, where all the magic happens with Ombre of the Sea is in the dry down, because in the dry down, you're going to get this very exotic, salty, slightly animalic ambergris. And I think that's what the main focus is with this fragrance, hence that name, Ombre of the Sea. Is that ambergris. You're gonna get a burst of it. One of the most natural ambergris I've smelled in any fragrance, hands down. If you don't know, ambergris is one of the most expensive raw ingredients when it comes to perfumery. Of course, it does come from a whale, so it washes up on the shore. And when it does, it's like finding a gold mine just because of how expensive the ingredient is, and you're gonna get a burst of it with this. Like I said earlier, absolute nuclear fragrance, and I can't believe the performance of this, hence that scent profile, aquatic, salty, very refreshing, and just lasts like 12 plus hours on skin even. That's why it's coming in at number 3 for a very good reason. Absolutely do yourself a favor and check this out. Number 2 literally smells like a summertime party, guys, and it's coming from the house of M.Micallef, and this is actually gin and tonic. So like that name says, it literally smells like a gin and tonic drink. So sparkling, so bubbly, so crisp smelling, especially in the opening, and a little bit minty. I think you get some lime, you get some mint, you get like this tonic water vibe and a lot of this zesty, slightly spicy ginger note. And every time I wear this on a hot day, somebody mentions something about it, gives me a compliment, like, what in the world are you smelling? I've never smelled anything like that before. So if you love that smell of a gin and tonic beverage, you're gonna love this without a doubt in my mind, because it gets that aroma down to an absolute T. The best gin and tonic fragrance I've ever smelled in my life. And it does dry down to this very clean, like vetiver and musk. It's phenomenal. I love the way this stuff develops on skin. And it does perform fairly well. There's no complaints with the performance of this one. So yeah, absolutely check this one out if you love that smell, you love like very outgoing, happy fragrance that will get a ton of attention. So finally at the #1 spot, guys, this isn't just one of my favorite summertime fragrances. It happens to be one of my favorite fragrances within my entire collection, and it's coming from the house of Sospiro, and this is Vibrato. So Vibrato has gotten so much hype over the last few months, and it honestly is for very, very good reason. I was actually one of the first people to review this on all of YouTube, and it was a love at first sniff. If you are familiar with that Tigar DNA from Bulgari, you will absolutely understand this fragrance because grapefruit is the most prominent note in the opening of this stuff. And wow, it's so juicy, so refreshing, so zesty smelling. And it also has this herbal kind of touch to it that kind of differs from Tigar. So take the DNA of Tigar and add this herbal greenness to it, you're gonna get Vibrato. It's also very similar to, of course, Louis Vuitton L'Immensité, which is one of my favorite fresh Louis, hands down. I love L'Immensité, which I have right there. But Vibrato is something so special. I've also gotten so many compliments with this one, like huge compliments where people lose their mind about this fragrance. I just honestly cannot express how much I adore Vibrato. And honestly, if I had to pick one fragrance from my entire collection to wear for the rest of my life and nothing else, Vibrato would absolutely be one I would consider without a doubt. So easy to wear, and that's why I said it's not only one of my favorite summer fragrances, it's one of my favorite fragrances all year round in general. And I know a lot of people are finally getting their noses on this, and they can agree with that as well, because trust me, it's that good. So do yourself a favor and at least get a sample or a decant of Vibrato to see what the magic is about. And trust me, you're gonna want a bottle soon after testing it. But that's gonna do it for my top 10 niche summer fragrances of 2023. Let me know down below some of your favorite niche fragrances to wear in the summertime as well, and maybe I can find some new discoveries. But besides that, if you are looking for the designer version of this, I will upload that soon after this one. So if you are a little bit more on a budget, wait for that video because there's some bangers in there as well. But besides that, leave a like, subscribe below if you haven't already, and of course, I'll see all you guys in my next upload. Take care, everybody.